Hey guys, so I thought I'd do a video on my favorite nootropics. I've been exploring a bit of this smart drug nootropic realm, mostly in the herbal side. Not really interested in any chemical or like prescription types as of right now. But yeah, the herbs and the neurotransmitter precursors and stuff like gabatrol, things that can kind of bring your brain into a more awake and calm, focused and alert state through, amino acids and different things like that. So, when it comes really down to the sustainability of these, compounds, I found that that's key. I'm not looking to really go hard and then have to like have 3 days of like being completely zonked out and not fully with it. And I'm sure that resonates with most people here. So, what are the best sustainable, nootropics we can use to kind of up level our performance, be able to think clear, also access different ideas in different parts of our brain that can kind of move us forward and give us the momentum to a life that better serves us to our truer purpose and to serve the world in a more authentic and in place in integrity. So you can be authentic to ourselves and offer some services and products to the world that can help others. And I feel like a lot of us are not fully with it. A lot of us, our brain isn't fully working. We've been consuming weird foods. We've been not getting proper rest. We've been kind of thrown around and told different things by society and conditioning. And we've kind of submitted to a state of learned helplessness that our brain is not actually able to achieve certain things. So we kind of submit to a lifestyle of mediocrity. And that's what really powers me into taking my life to the next level and why I've chosen nootropics to facilitate my journey in that. So let's jump right in. My favorite, oh, I won't really favorite it, but I really like this product. It's called Gabatrol. It's by Pure Life. And it's basically L-theanine and phenyl GABA. So phenyl GABA, I guess, is a specific type of derived GABA, which is an inhibitory neurotransmitter that's going to make your brain focused but also calm. So you have this like calm, cool, and collected but alert, focus, clear-headed high. And that's facilitated by L-theanine, which helps. GABA itself doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier effectively. So L-theanine kind of assists with that. It's like kind of like an escort, if you will. So yeah, when it gets to brain chemistry and things like that, I don't fully understand what's going on. I don't think anyone really does. And I think I've tried to explore and learn a lot about these things, and it's really hard to really know what exactly is going on. But I do my best and try and explain my best effort to you. So the other part of this supplement is kind of like a stimulating, amino acid complex. So there's taurine, glycine, organic selenium, I'm not sure what that is, tortuosum, and tyrosine. So I kind of see this mostly as the tyrosine GABA mix. So you're bringing up the level of dopamine in your brain, and you're also bringing up GABA levels. So it's almost like that neurotropic stack where you're combining caffeine and L-theanine, which is pretty basic, for our nootropic world, and is super accessible and works really well. Caffeine is a great nootropic. It doesn't exactly work in a way that enhances creativity. It just gives us more energy by allowing us to tap into our own energy reserves. So if you're depleted or fatigued in any way, that's going to tap into your adrenal reserves. So we know caffeine is a double-edged sword, but it is an effective nootropic. So Gabatrol, definitely recommend it. I take half the dose because 2 capsules makes me a little, I feel a little bit too wiry, and I don't know if I need to go. I don't want to be fully under the dominion of some supplement. I like to kind of like enhance who I am and where I am. I feel like if I took all of these, which I did the other day, I was like, okay, I can't even like sit down and work right now. I have to go like run, and I want to like talk to 1,000 people, and this is way too much energy. So it's like a little goes a long way, because I think when it really comes down to hacking our brain and our creative potential and like performance, is basically upregulating the access we have to our true self, to our true brain. Sometimes I'm taking less supplements and getting just clearer in my head, and that makes sense intuitively, but how many of us are actually like just taking everything out and going as an approach to enhance our brain function? So, obviously the main nootropics I would say are like sunlight and proper rest and like getting enough hydration and making sure we have enough electrolytes and eating a healthy diet that isn't laden with inorganic toxic foods and terrible fats and hydrogenated oils and things. So I think the big main players are those very basic things. Exercise is a huge nootropic. It's going to increase BDNF in your brain. It's going to get the wheels turning. It's going to increase blood flow to the brain. I mean, you can take vinpocetine or whatever you call it. That's going to enhance blood flow in your body, but it doesn't do what your body does when you take a cold shower or when you go for a run. There are certain things that the body is programmed to react to, and they're just, supplements aren't going to do it justice. So this is like elixir status. So we're building on a foundation of proper lifestyle, and we're building on top of that. How can I enhance a healthy body and a healthy mind? So Gabatrol, that's one way to go, and you can stack these in any way accordingly. I would try and just start with one at a time. Here's a really interesting one, Cerebrovital PQQ10. So it's got CoQ10 in it. I guess that's why they call it PQQ10. But this, I've taken other PQQ supplements, and they don't work like this one. This one somehow has this insane kind of like, I feel like I can deliver more effectively. I feel, it's almost like, people say like, modafinil makes me feel more like myself. I just feel like more like me. That's kind of what PQQ does for me. It gives your body ATP. It gives your mitochondria and more energy. It's like, so from an internal level, like caffeine is pulling reserves, from your adrenals and blocking adenosine receptors. So you're basically taking the brake off of your brain and just allowing all these thoughts and energy to come in one way or another. I'm sure there's better ways to describe caffeine, but that's how I see it. It's kind of pulling from your reserves. It's actually, you have to make sure you replenish, realkalize, remineralize. There's a lot of uptake especially with coffee. I try and do matcha, and that's, caffeine's a whole other topic on a whole other video. But Cerebrovital PQQ10, that's actually giving your mitochondria energy. So it's like, instead of pulling from your body and making your body act on, giving adrenaline and norepinephrine, pulling your body into a state where it thinks it needs to like watch out for a tiger, and you're more alert and you feel like this kind of cocktail of neurotransmitters in your brain. This kind of works in a similar way by giving your body energy. So PQQ, Cerebrovital, do this one, because the caps, check this out. The caps, they're like coated with beeswax. So it's not a capsule that's just gonna like deteriorate in your stomach, and the stomach acid. There's something with PQQ and stomach acid. You have to be able to get past that gastric barrier. So, and the coenzyme Q10. I mean, you could try the bulletproof one too. I think it's called Unfair Advantage, and he combines caprylic acid or his brain octane oil with the coenzyme Q10 and PQQ. But hey man, this has really done wonders for me. I don't take it every day. It's definitely a big push on my system, and I don't need that every day. I feel like it's good to take breaks. With that said, it's a good segue to this supplement here, which I definitely need to take breaks from, but this thing will light your fucking brain up like crazy. The Neuromaster, which is basically Neurofactor, which is whole coffee fruit extract and coffee berry. So I don't know. Neurofactor is hard for me to find. I guess it's a patented product, and you can get it with like acetylcholine and ginseng and all these other additives in other products, but this was the only one I was able to find that had 200 milligrams of Neurofactor and didn't have a bunch of other stuff, because I wanted to know what this felt like alone. I didn't want to be like, okay, well maybe that's the tyrosine and also the acetylcholine, and I just wanted to feel what the coffee berry tasted like. So, not tasted like, felt like. So, I'm sure it tastes kind of weird. Coffee berry, the new. What are you gonna put it on your salad? So basically, this stuff will light your brain up like crazy. I think there's a little bit of caffeine, like 50 milligrams or something, but I think it's mostly a BDNF booster. So we're talking like, a way to enhance exercise. Because when you're exercising, you're increasing BDNF. This is something that's going to do that as well. So it's creating neurogenesis in the brain. It's letting your brain kind of create new neural pathways. So it's something really good to do while you're learning. It says brain and memory. So it's kind of like if you're studying or if you're practicing an instrument or you're trying to learn something, use it to be able to reinforce those pathways. And of course, combine some really good high quality fats like brain octane oil or caprylic acid or olive oil or coconut oil or grass-fed butter, whatever you use to kind of increase that neurohighway, which is the myelin sheath. So if you're practicing, guitar, and you're like, you're going to want to be able to take these things and prior to your practice session so you can kind of give yourself that next level absorption rate and also reinforce it with the fat. So you're increasing that myelin sheath, so the muscle memory or your just cognitive memory is enhanced. So you're increasing those neural pathways and those highways. So that's Neuromaster. We've talked about those three. This is something that I often don't take. It's called rhodiola. I'm sure you've heard of it. But this will also do a good amount on your cognition. This will do, and it's also a stress reliever. So it's like a great way to it's like a stimulating adaptogen. So it's going to work on your adrenals by restoring them and helping ward off stress. But it's also a really great way to kind of enhance cognitive function. And that's what I found. But I don't take it all the time. I don't take it very often at all. And that's just where my body's at right now. I just don't feel like maybe I should try it again, I just try and like rotate my things and just see how it feels. So it'd be really in tune with your body, know what you're doing. These flow states, when we're accessing different flow states, which is the true nootropic, which is all internal and breath oriented and focus driven, is that when you access these flow states, you're pulling reserves from your body, whether that's you're using extra acetylcholine or you're using different cofactors and neurotransmitters in your brain to access these certain parts of your cognition. So it's really important to up-level your nutrition, to really get enough proteins into your diet. So getting like, some whey protein or collagen or, whatever it is that you can do to get enough neurotransmitters rebuilt up into your body. That's something that, when I take caffeine, I love taking this because I know caffeine pulls tyrosine and dopamine out of your system. So when you come off of it, you get a little depressed. At least I do. So it's like if you're cutting caffeine super quickly, you're like, oh man, I just really don't feel good today. Just like, I'm sure you know what I'm feeling. So in that sense, you want to be able to replete just as quickly as you're using up. You're like taking out, loans from your body. So it's really good to be able to reinvest and to like create a sustainable, that's what we're talking about here, is a sustainable nootropic solution. So the last one I want to talk about is Siltep. Now somehow I got hit with an ad on my feed and they just made me pay for shipping and they sent this to me, but it's like a $40 supplement. I have no idea. I'm not able to find where this promotion was. So I've been trying to get it for friends, but somehow I got it for free. They sent it to me. I paid for like $5 for shipping. Now there's a lot to it, and within this supplement, what I was just talking about with repleting, they've combined in L-phenylalanine, which is a precursor to dopamine and tyrosine. So that's going to help. And then acetyl L-carnitine, so that's another thing. So if you're gonna, like, they used to, the prior product, like the beta version, didn't have these, and people would get headaches and if they weren't having a proper diet. So I think that they've solved that solution. Obviously you want to keep mitigating that with just getting your green juices in, getting enough proteins and good fats into your body. So they also have a cofactor of B6 in here, so just facilitating the whole conversion. Artichoke extract and forskolin are the main constituents of this product. I know it has something to do with the CAMP receptors, and I still have not fully researched it. When I take 3 of these, which is the suggested dose, I am pretty cognitively enhanced. I'm not like, it's not, it's definitely a heady thing. It's definitely in the brain. It's not like when you're on caffeine, you're feeling like, oh wow, I feel more energy. I feel like my heart is pumping harder. I feel like I want to go out and run, or this is all like very independent, unique to everyone's body and neurochemistry. But I definitely feel like for me, is more of a brain, a cognitive, a heady thing. A lot of this Neuromaster, I can feel in my whole body. I can feel the PQQ in my whole body. There's just something to it. If you try this, I really suggest trying this. This is like, I recommend it to a lot of my students, and it's just something that I believe in. It's not pulling anything from your system, it's only giving you energy, and the effects I get from it are top notch. So Siltep, that's another thing to try. And then you have all the combinations of stacking these, and what would this be like if you combined it with this? I've done these 3 before, and that's a full day. That's a full day for me. And if I have a little bit of caffeine with that as well, I just like, all right, I'm going. Just make sure I eat enough, make sure I get enough water, make sure I look after myself and budget enough sleep and rest and recovery for myself. But that's really, that'll get me going. It could also make me a bit headstrong and kind of like really like, all right, we got to do that, so you got to be careful. You don't be an asshole. Definitely like hit points from like questioning like, how important is this right now, and is this coming from a place of stress and like urgency within my system, so kind of looking at that as well. So do this stuff smart. Think about, that's the whole point of smart drugs, right? Increasing your mental performance in a smart way. So make sure you replete, make sure you take care of yourself with those foundational elements, or just basic parts of the hierarchy of needs of being a human, So we've got sunshine, exercise, rest, proper diet, proper hydration, the main stuff, relationships, keeping your system like primed and healthy and like around good, like-minded people, and getting rid of toxicity within your body, getting rid of toxic relationships. That's really where your energy is going to come from. And if you're just trying to cover that stuff up with supplements, you're going to run into some issues, because it's only going to amplify those blockages within you, and you're going to be like, why am I getting worse? And I feel like I'm on fire and I could do more stuff, but I also feel like worse when I come down. So you really want to unblock that stuff, get to the juice, and then enhance yourself from there, And it's not like you need to do any of this stuff. You might just do great with cold showers. You might do great with a quick jog. You might do great doing some yoga. It's really up to you. But this is the best sustainable nootropics that I have found recently. Hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because this channel is all about awakening yourself to yourself and allowing you to tap into your creative genius. So if that interests you, definitely tap in, click that little bell so you can get reminders when I post new videos. And I'm just trying to create a better world, by starting with the individual, echoing out into the community, creating, like-minded communities, tribes, people that can actually link in, be a part of something, and kind of echo out these values, and be able to say, hey, like, does your brain hurt? Are you dealing with stress? Are you dealing with anxiety? Like, let's help each other. Let's help each other get to the next level with our health, with our fitness, with our business, and from there we just create a better world. So that's kind of my mission here. So could be a part of it, and let me know how you're doing. Let me know how this works for you. So Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.